Good evening, good people. Welcome to another 203K Tuesday. I'm your host, Aaron, the house person, and this is the place you come to find out everything you don't know about the 203K loan and learn how to use that loan to help build, create, and sustain generational wealth. So, as you know, I like to have the industry partners, right? The people who are going to be in your starting lineup on the show. So we're talking about that realtor. We're talking about that loan officer, right? Your shooting guard. We're talking about the consultant, your small forward, that swing man between your lender and the contractor, who is your power forward, the one that's doing the heavy lifting, getting the job done, and your center, protecting your interests, right? The center is the title company, making sure that the property is conveyed properly, no extra liens, free and clear, all of that good stuff. But in addition to your starting lineup, I also like to bring on people who have gone through the process, right? And today, special guest, I have with me Miss LaShae and Mr. Milan Williams on the show. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them in now. So they're in two separate locations due to work things and everything, but they're still together. So we're not gonna worry about the absence of what would they say? Absence make the heart grow fonder. So
oh, y'all talking behind my back. Oh,
at the same time.
so how are we doing today?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hanging
Well,
in there.
Jay, you're well as well, I hope.
We're hanging in there.
Hanging
As
in
well
there.
as
All
can
right.
be.
So normally the flow of things, what I like to do is just like hop right into the questions. And then from there, we're gonna talk a little more about you guys. And just what you guys got going on and things of that nature. That's cool?
That's cool.
All right. So first question. How did you hear about the 203K loan?
I'm gonna throw that to Milan.
That's my realm. So when we were in the home buying process and just trying to find a house for ourselves, um, the realtor that we're using is a buddy of mine from college, and he kind of found out, through our process of picking something out that it's really not that much out there that we're going to agree on, like myself and LaShae. So he gave a suggestion of why don't you just try to renovate something, and which is something that I definitely thought about and wanted to do, but didn't really think it was feasible. And then he brought up the 203K loan process and how it kind of operated and kind of gave us the quick and dirty on it, and that was pretty much, yeah, once we heard that, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did he miss anything, Lachey?
Yeah, only thing is he said once we heard that we were on board. That wasn't really the truth for me. I was not on board. To me, he was on board. I was like not in favor of renovations. I think our biggest thing with house shopping was definitely like I wanted newer things, coming from the South, like you're used to seeing new builds with where everything is new versus like up here, I love the history and the charm of the houses, but sometimes it's just like a little bit too much history and too much charm. So, he had the idea of renovating. And my biggest thing was like, A, the money, but also the time commitment. So he found the 203K and brought it, and I kind of eventually got on board.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we're in the same wagon right now, so that's a good thing.
We'll
When you
go with
say
what
up
she said.
here, what do you say, Milan?
We'll go with what she said.
That's a good. Hey, smart man. Smart
There
man.
you
So you said up here. Where exactly is up here?
So we're in Philadelphia, and we're in like actually within the city limits. Right now we're in an apartment in what used to, I guess it's still technically North Philly, used to be considered North Philly, Philly is kind of gentrified North Philly. So people don't really call it that anymore. But the house that we bought is actually around the corner from our apartment, like literally walking distance right up the street. So it's the same neighborhood.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So I think I know the answer to this one just based off of the previous answer, but well, excuse me, skipping a little too far. So, what was it about the loan that I guess Milan, that excited you most?
Yeah. Well, I think the best part of it was the fact that we watched a lot of HGTV and all of that, those fixer upper shows, and the fact that we could be a part of the process the whole way, pick our own stuff, what it looks like, what appliances, what flooring, what just anything. It was us that was actually picking it, along with the fact that we were protected with um, if we can't move into it right away, our mortgage is paid for through the loan, as well as, for like 6 or 7 months, I believe.
Mhm.
So we didn't have to pay both rent and the mortgage at the same time. So that was really exciting.
Yeah, yeah, that can be exciting.
Yeah.
So as far as the actual 203K that you guys did, was it a streamlined or limited, or was it the full 203K?
Oh, it's the full. It's the big boy.
That's a
Yeah.
big boy.
Yeah, the big boy. Yeah. Everything gets done. This, and this.
Okay, full 203K. And
Mhm.
did you find your realtor or your loan officer first? Which
I'll let LaShae handle that one.
Yeah, I mean, like Milan said, our realtor was his friend from college. So we found him first and looked at houses that were already done first before we pivoted to 203K properties that basically were full gut and rehab projects. So Milan has known our realtor for some years. And then after that, I don't know, Milan, did our realtor kind of push you towards a specific lender, or how did you find the lender that we ended up with?
Yeah, so we were actually going with, this is a whole nother saga in itself, but we were going with one lender, and all of a sudden he was like, hey, I found this other guy, and he's pretty good, well known, all of that. And I said, all right, cool. So then we started working with him, and you know, a little bit of this. And what had happened was is come along. And then we ended up not being able to work with him anymore because they done ran my credit so many times. They brought it down where I couldn't work with that loan company anymore. So then we kind of scrambled, and we found this other company or this other loan or mortgage broker. Um, and then that was when we went all the way with it. So
okay, so the third one that you found, was that like
mhm.
from doing your own research, or was that like another referral?
No, it was still another referral from him.
Okay, okay.
Or excuse me, from the previous loan mortgage officer.
So the first one suggested a second one, but the second one couldn't get it done because they've been messing with your credit, running everything. So then the
The
first one suggested a third one.
the first one was suggested by our realtor.
Right.
So then we're working with that, and then our realtor suggested the second one instead,
Gotcha.
and then the second one suggested the third one. So it's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's all over here.
okay. Okay. All right. So I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, your your realtor and the third loan officer, where would you pretty much rank their knowledge of the 203K process?
Ooh.
I would rank
Uh,
our realtor high. Our realtor actually is also like a general contractor. So he didn't do any of our work because conflict of interest, but he has done his own projects. And so because of that, he's very familiar with 203K. He knew as well, just like generally how much construction would cost for what we were trying to do. So that was really helpful. We had that information. It varies by who you ultimately hire as your contractor, but he was able to give us a pretty accurate ballpark number before we, put house under contract. So I would say that he was extremely helpful. That from my perspective, Milan, you can give your perspective, but I feel like our realtor has been, continues to be the most helpful throughout this process. Now I don't know about the lender. I have my own thoughts about that, but I'll let you take it.
Yeah, no, and what she said was, exactly right. Our realtor, he done it before. He knows a lot about it. Our lender, they had been doing a lot of 203K loans as well. So they knew the process. They still know the process, still doing it. It's just a little bit more disjointed than we really expected. So
Gotcha. Okay, so realtor gets 2 thumbs up, lender gets, kind of like
to be determined.
video game thumbs, I guess. Eh?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, all right. Okay. Well, I mean, it was good that they know the process, but that's one of the things that I kind of hark on, like assembling that team as best as possible. Yeah, kind of like Voltron, right? You're bringing all the parts together. But I really like to say your starting lineup, and
Yeah.
having strong people in your lineup definitely will help the process go smooth, or potentially, have some lulls in your scoring. So yeah, we okay, but you guys are moving forward, so that's good. That's good.
We got
Um,
to now.
whew. Now, based off of what I know, this question here: how did you find your contractor?
So, so our realtor gave us a list of contractors. I don't know how many was in that original list, but Milan, as you'll notice the trend, I pick. No, there were more than three, were there not? He gave us a list, and the three that actually got back to us and were able to go out and look at the house and give us quotes,
Yeah.
detailed quotes. There were three of those, but he gave us a full list of contractors. These are people that he had worked with before, knew about, had done projects. Some of them he had worked with very closely on multiple projects, and he was able to give us a feel of like the pros and the cons of going with, this person versus this person. So ultimately, the three that we landed on, they gave us very different numbers, but they all had their own pros and their own cons. So we kind of sat down together and decided, really what we wanted to do independent of our realtor. He just kind of led us in the right direction, and then it was on us. So, I don't put, we'll get to this, but I don't put any of the blame on our realtor for sending us these people, because I think there was no way for him to know some of the things that would end up happening. But, I think we made the decision ultimately after our own cost benefit analysis of which contractor we wanted to go with.
Yeah, that was the nice way of saying it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna let that one ride.
Uh,
But I will say this: the one that should I talk about the one we have now as
We ain't
opposed to?
gotten there yet.
Oh, my bad there.
so, Will, while we're here, so I guess let me ask this. So again, I know a little backstory, but the contractor that you guys originally chose, what would you say, again, 1 to 10, their knowledge of the process, if you can even answer the question, but what would you say their knowledge of the 203K process is or was?
The process, probably a one or a two,
Mm,
because he had never done it before. He was asking me questions about when does he get money, when does he get X, Y, and Z. It was after we went with him, it became very apparent that he had never done this before. He had never done this type of process before. So it was in the dumpster.
okay, in the
Sorry.
dumpster.
Sorry.
And because of that situation, you guys ended up moving over to a new contractor. So this person, how did you find? Is this like someone from the previous list, or you guys like went back out and tried to, vet a few more people?
No. What happened the night that we decided to fire the contractor that we had previously? I just went on this spree of just emailing any and every contractor I saw that had pretty good marks on Google, Yelp, whatever. I just went through all just email, email, email. And apparently I had emailed a contracting service finder or contractor finder service, excuse me. And they had gotten back to me and said, "Hey, we'd love to know more about, what you need, X, Y, and Z." And they kind of asked me the questions of what I needed or what we needed with or where we were in our project and all of that. And they sent a few referrals to us that came out. Um, and then this guy who we went with eventually, he had done 203Ks before. He's actually doing some right now. So we felt very confident in his competence with what the process entailed, how he needs to do things, what he needs to do. And he also even worked with our HUD consultant before as well. So it just all kind of, like you said, formed like Voltron and came together.
Okay. Okay. Um, man. Okay. So Saving Grace was the new contractor. That's a good thing. And that company, is that like a local company that, the service company, or is that something that you think maybe outside of just Philadelphia?
No, it's a national company. Yeah.
Okay.
I just had no idea at the time. I was just, like I said, sending emails to anybody that wanted to listen.
Trying to get it done. Understandable.
I get it.
Would you happen to know the name of that company offhand?
Um,
If not,
um,
it's okay. But just curious.
yeah, it was called.
No,
Oh,
you don't know.
yeah, I forgot.
Nah, no worries, no pressure. Just curious. But I mean, I'm glad you through your digging and at a rapid pace was able to find that company
Mm,
because it got you guys with somebody who's competent. And that's one of the biggest things. Like the work thing is one side of the 203K. Yes, you got to do the swinging of the hammer and all that good stuff. But are you, as a contractor, financially capable of floating everything through the demo phase and paying your own people until you get to the point where the consultant comes out and you guys check off everything on the list and then you get that first draw. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I won't say rookie contractors, but inexperienced ones as far as the 203K don't really understand. And
yeah.
so if they're trying to float jobs here, there, and everywhere, that could be a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. And I think above that as well, like just general non 203K related contractor skills beyond their like work skills, like there has to be some um organization, good communication. I think especially with the 203K, what some of them are not used to is a level of oversight that comes with that, being able to submit paperwork with the amount of details that a 203K requires, and within the timelines that a 203K requires. Some of them are not used to that. And so it's just kind of like they can't do it, and I think both of those things, the area you highlighted as well as just like organization is where our first contractor definitely fell short.
Mm, okay. I'm glad that chapter is behind and you guys are on to the new chapter with the new contractor. Um, so I know you guys are still actually going through the process, so it's going to be a little hard to answer these last couple of questions. Well, so the question is, what was the worst part and what was the best part, right? I think I know what might be the worst part, which would be contractor A. Now, because you guys haven't quite completed it, I don't know if you have an answer for what is the best part, but if you do, please feel free to share. Still, uh,
Uh, the best part is we do have a house,
okay, that's good.
technically.
That's good. Yep, yep, that is true.
And actually, no. We were fortunate enough to get a house that's in a really good area that's really getting a lot of renovations, a lot of new builds and stuff too.
Mhm.
So a really good part about this process is that we've already technically made money because the house is already, with us just buying it, a little bit after us buying it, it went up in value. So without us even doing any renovations, we have equity in the home. So that's the best part so far.
Okay. Okay. Love it. Love it. Yeah. Equity is a good thing. And for those who don't know, equity is the difference between what your home is worth and what you owe. That's a great thing. A lot of people have tapped into the equity to, maybe start a business, send kids to school, various things. But it's better to have equity than to not have equity. So, moving in, or not even moving in, but the fact, like you said, just off the purchase, knowing that you have that equity because of what the other things are going on in the neighborhood, like that's a great thing. And it looks like, y'all definitely did a good job in location, because that definitely matters. So yeah. Okay. Okay.
That
So
was all her too. So
Milan looks like he wants to say something. That was a point of contention during the home search. I,
uh-oh.
I was the location girl, and he was just like, I like this house. And I'm like, I'm not living in this neighborhood. So, yeah, location matters. I hope you heard that, babe.
Uh-oh. Sorry, sir.
not even I have no rebuttal.
Good job again. You're a smart man, I'm
I'm
telling you.
learning. I'm learning on the fly.
So although you guys are not quite through the process just yet, and although you guys have, hit a couple of hurdles and roadblocks and had to deviate, um, would you still recommend the 203K process and loan for other people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've even done it in the time that we've been going through this. I have recommended it to other people as well, and kind of telling them it's just, you gotta make sure that you got a place to live while this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have a place to live, because if you don't, it could be really messed up.
Yeah, and I think just tempering the expectations in general. Like, we kind of knew going in that our original timeline wouldn't be the original timeline. Both of our parents have done renovations, not full gut and rehabs, but they have done renovations. At least one set of our parents has done some, like a small 203K before, I believe. So, we had some understanding of like what it's like to do work on a house and timelines and how contractors work. I think just understanding that something is not going to go your way during the process will help sort of temper the expectations and help you move along a little bit easier and with less anxiety during the process. But I think overall, I think it's a good move. I think especially in a place like where we are now, where it's very expensive to buy a house with enough room that you need and in a good neighborhood. I think this is a good program to help you get to be a homeowner and to really, build wealth. I think it's a great program for that. So you just got to kind of take the snags for what it is and make sure you have a stable living situation.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier about 6 months of mortgage payments being rolled into the loan. So that is something you guys took advantage of?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We had to. We definitely and I think more along the lines of us not knowing how much or what it was going to come out to. We figured that this was the best opportunity for us to get both paid for at the same time and not stress ourselves. So,
Hmm. So even with 6 months of mortgage payments being rolled into the loan, you guys are still sitting at an equity position, and that's great.
yeah.
Like, that's great. So you're living where you are now as the renovations are being completed, and not having to stress about making multiple payments while the renovation is being completed. So that's a great thing. And then, like I said, you're at an equity position even with having that rolled into the loan. So tell me a little bit about the house. Like, what was it before construction, and what is it going to be after?
So the house, really, we can say what it is now because Before construction is the present. The
Yeah.
house was a 4-1, 4 bedrooms, 1 bath, which to me is crazy because I'm just like, how could you only have 1 bathroom in a house? I cannot conceptualize that, but that's the thing up here. So it was a 4-1. And the only bathroom in the house actually is on the second floor. These are row houses. So it's got, 3 stories. You got your main floor with your living room, kitchen. Second floor has right now or had 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. And then the top floor had an additional 2 bedrooms. We are changing it into a 3-2. And at one point, which we haven't really ruled out, we're thinking about adding another half bath, which we probably will end up doing. So, essentially what we have done so far is knocked out the walls. At least upstairs, we're planning to turn it into a master suite. So to have just a nice size bedroom and a nice size master bathroom, and some good closet space. And then the second floor, keeping that bathroom, keeping those 2 bedrooms. And then on the bottom floor, just, making everything pretty and thinking about adding a half bathroom on that floor as well.
Okay. So 3 total floors. Is there a basement as well?
There is a basement. We have decided not to dig the basement out right now because it just costs too much, and we kind of just want to get in the house. The estimates that we got to dig a basement out is like, an additional 25,000 is what I heard. Milan, correct me if I'm wrong,
No,
but
you're right.
yeah. So, the basement is basically the issue is the ceilings are not high enough. So you have to dig down to get it up to code, which is an expensive process. So we're not doing that right now because we don't need the space. It's only just Milan and I, nobody else. So someone else can do that or we can do it later. And I think the other thing that we were thinking about doing in another year or so is adding a rooftop deck, which is all the rave up here. It's like kind of the it thing for renos is to have a rooftop deck. So we were thinking about adding that next year as well, which is probably, somewhere in the ballpark of 20-25,000. So yeah, but that's not the priority right now. Priority is just to get the house in good, working, beautiful living order and move in.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And once you guys get in there, hopefully the renovations throughout the neighborhood will continue, and that will increase your equity position even more. So going back later to add that rooftop deck, maybe you don't have to actually tap into your personal pockets to get that taken care of. So okay, that's great. So I actually found you guys on something called Life with LaShae. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Life with LaShae is my YouTube channel. I've been wanting a YouTube channel for a long time, but just didn't do it. So that's what you have a husband for, to encourage you or push you in the deep end and make you swim. So Milan bought me a very fancy camera last summer. I was like, here's your equipment for YouTube that you've been talking about for years and not doing. So yeah, my YouTube channel is really just something I wanted to do originally. I had an idea around me being in PhD and kind of breaking down some of the barriers for, other Black students, other first generation students who didn't know how to get to that tier of academia. But, I think there's a lot more to me than my job. And so I kind of wanted to show just, my life journey. And part of that right now is documenting this 203K, which has been a bear. So we do talk about that on the channel. I also talk about, of course, school things, and some other lifestyle things as well. So, we just living life and sharing it and hoping it resonates with people, which it seems to be doing so far.
So you mentioned 3 letters, P, H, and D, kind of together. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So I actually, the reason we moved to Philadelphia was for my PhD. So I'm in school right now. I am a second year in this long process as well, which is also a different bear. Getting my PhD in clinical psychology with emphasis in pediatric neuropsychology, which is just a really fancy way of saying, we really work on like brain behavior relationships. So think like if you were to get a brain injury or have some kind of like neurodevelopmental disorder like ADHD or autism, we kind of look at what's going on in your brain and help you see what's going really well and areas that we can work on and help you be your best self. As well as some of the things that you think of with like a typical psychologist, kind of that like emotional behavioral piece. So that's kind of what I'm studying and undertaking right now. And that's why we moved here. So that takes up most of my time. It actually was the original reason for my hesitation in doing a 203K, was because it takes so much time that I didn't want to add any additional stress. So you'll see me throughout this interview refer to Milan a lot. And that's because I have kind of let him take the lead on this. And I have mostly been moral support and picking out things and hiring and firing. But other than that, Milan really carries this family. So thanks, babe.
Hiring and firing. Okay.
She's good with the fist.
Ruling with an iron fist, huh? So
Somebody got to do it.
that's true. That's true. So Milan, prior to you joining us, uh, she referenced the captain.
Oh, yeah.
Could you speak a little bit about the captain, please?
Yeah, so I have this company where I make my own homemade sauce and seasonings, and I named it Captain Grill Company, Captain Grill Co. Basically, just an alter ego or just an ego of mine, if you will, because I try to embody, this type of life or mindset in pretty much everything that I do. Just trying to be a leader and doing things the right way. But I love to grill. I love to cook, so I made something to where you can put my sauce, you can put my seasoning on any and everything, and it's gonna help your life. Trying to bless people.
Trying to bless people. I know
It's
that's right.
good too. It's really good. I wouldn't lie.
I mean, so you are biased, but I believe that you wouldn't lie. I
But
believe.
you gotta listen. You gotta know though. Look,
Mhm.
you see Milan making a face because
Mhm.
I give it to him straight. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, her bias does not leak into her opinion. I promise you that. I promise you, she will tell me straight up and down. She loves me now. She does love me. But hey, yeah, this ain't it, babe. No, no, not this one. No,
That's
you.
good. That's good. She's keeping you safe. So, you get your checks and balances in house. So that way, once you know that product gets out the house,
Oh yeah. That's why I don't even worry. I'm just like, oh, they gonna like this. They gonna rock with this. Cause she doesn't even like barbecue for real.
I don't like grilled food,
She don't like grilled food.
but I
So
eat his.
okay.
yeah, so when I was making mine and feeding it to her, she said, oh, this good. I knew she wasn't just playing because I done cooked other stuff for her. And she was like, yeah, not quite this.
Mhm.
But that grilled food got her.
So that's a bold statement. And that's good. Like I say, those checks and balances. And um, even though this is saying thank you to me, I gotta say thank you to you because I did receive my package. Let's see here.
What
We
you
got
got?
Got
There's
some.
there's a little bit of a glare. We got the poultry, seafood, and veggies
Okay.
on there. Let me see. Hold on. This is fresh out the box.
Fresh out.
All right. We got the beef, pork, lamb, and venison. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah.
right.
You gonna be
Hold
good
on.
with that one too.
Oh, there's more in the package here. Let's see. It's like Christmas.
This is an unboxing episode as well.
The unboxing. So it did actually come in a box, folks.
Yeah.
Came in the box. Nice and packaged up real tight. Good bubble wrap. All right. So a little shake. We got the Captain Grille Co. Sweet Yellow Hammer Sauce.
Yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
hammer.
Mm-hmm. All right, a little shake here. We got the Captain Grille Co. Medium Yellow Hammer Sauce.
My
Mhm.
favorite one.
Is that your favorite?
It's my favorite one.
The medium? Okay. All right. So since he said you the judgmental one as far as like letting them know, I'm gonna try the medium one first. And then we got the Captain Grille Co. Spicy Yellow Hammer Sauce. I think my
That's
wife
hot.
would love that one. She loves spice. So okay. So I got the full package here. I love it. I can't wait. I mean, and we're supposed to have 80 today, so I might have to fire up that young grill there
Hey, look,
and use
I'm
all
with mistakes.
the good seasoning and sauce that I got.
Try it.
So
I'll do you right.
the folks who are looking to hear more about your 203K journey, where should they go in order to find you?
So right now they can check us out on my YouTube channel, Life with LaShae. That's LaShae, LASHAE. And we are documenting the process right now. We just posted about it about a week ago, but even since then, we've had more crazy updates. So we are definitely planning to share everything that we can. Milan is looking stressed, but part of the way that we kind of de-stress about it is just to talk about it and share and get the energy of the people. You know, people leave lots of helpful comments on the YouTube, and sometimes they ask questions that we'll add answers to. I know, Erin, you've been chiming in with your expertise in the comments as well, so thanks for that. So definitely check us out. We answer a lot of questions about the journey in detail and just our experience along the way.
And Captain, for those who are looking for some good herbs and spices and sauce, where can they go to get an order?
Yeah, if you just go to captaingrilleco.com, and that's grill with the E because I'm fancy like that. You can order it all in one pack. I'll make it nice and easy for you. And I also have a cooking channel that I've been adding some recipes and stuff on YouTube as well. Just Captain Grille Co on YouTube. I got a couple recipes on there. I'll be adding more soon too. So yeah.
Cool. Glad to hear it. So I want to thank you guys for honoring me and coming on to the show. Um, I also want to wish you much success from this day forward until the completion of the project and you guys actually get your keys and can move in. I will be definitely turning into the channel to check on the progress and just see how things are going. And like I say, hopefully moving forward is less speed bumps and more, Indy 500. You guys can just
We received that.
just get there. That's what I'm talking about. So again, thank you guys for coming on to the show, and I will be in contact with y'all. Just checking in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not a problem at all. So that's all we got, folks, and I will see you guys the next 203K Tuesday. Signing out. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell. Thanks for watching.